what I'm freaking talking about. Oh, shit, fuck. There it is.
What's going on, guys? Hunter Sales with this week's Fish Jeff Co. Fishing Report, talking about Cherokee Lake. It's also, you got the BFL All-American coming out there at the end of the month, and that's my favorite time to fish is May on Cherokee. My birthday's at the very end of May, and there's so many good memories of me going out there and catching good bags of fish, largemouth and smallmouth. The lake should be in really good shape. It's full right now, or almost full, and it's still coming up. It should be full by the tournament, which is going to put so many different things in play. I'm going to go over a few setups real quick that I think will actually play in that tournament, or if you're just going out fishing, stuff to help you right now. There still will be a shad spawn going on, and that's always a great way to catch a kicker right off the morning. I love throwing a Megabass Magdraft. This is a 6-inch and albino pearl around any cover that's in the water, whether it be laydowns, flooded bushes, a big boulder, something like that. That bait can get you a big bite in the morning, maybe even some riprap. On that same line of thought is a 1/2 ounce swim jig in white. I like a 1/2 ounce here. A lot of the cover gets deeper as the water keeps coming up. Whether it's green bushes, lay down, same type of deal, can catch a really big one right off the rip. After that's over, if it was me, I would be looking for something consistent, probably a smallmouth bite. Mid-lake has been really putting out good bags lately. Most of the big tournaments have been one mid-lake, and so I would probably stay in that area, look for isolated boulders, rocky points, things like that. Anytime you're fishing for smallmouth, you got to have a drop shot. 3 16-ounce weight, a number 2 Hayabusa 132 drop shot hook. It's an awesome hook, tough to beat. 15-pound Seaguar Smackdown, 8-pound Tatsu, and like I said, just isolated boulders. Your favorite minnow style bait, this is actually a Yamamoto worm. Z-Man's Trick Shots is really good, or the Berkeley flatworm is another great smallmouth bait, really just your favorite one there. And that bait that I've won a lot of money on in May, same setup, 7-foot medium action rod, 15-pound Seaguar Smackdown, 8-pound Tatsu, but a 2.8 Kitech. This color is green pumpkin chartreuse, 1/4 ounce ball head. It's my favorite jig head in the world to throw it on. Everybody wants to throw the realistic ones with eyes, but man, that ball head comes through rocks so good. And you can just crawl that over some of that cover that those smallmouth are living on. They hate chartreuse when they get done spawning, and so whatever they hate, what you need to be throwing. And the last technique we'll talk about is kind of a home run strategy. I think you could have a really good day. Probably couldn't do it 3 days in a row, but you could have a really good day flipping a beaver bait. This is with a 1/2 ounce angler tungsten weight, a 4-out Hayabusa FPP flipping hook. And you can see how nicely that hook pairs with any beaver bait, man. It's not gaudy. It fits the bait really well. This is a Z-Man Palmetto BugZ. And man, I've played around with a lot of different baits, and you can see, the durability of this Z-Man bait is just really hard to beat. And they bite it really good. It's also really soft. The hook has no problem penetrating. 7.3 heavy rod, 20-pound Seaguar InvizX. And man, really flipping any thick cover, whether it's green bushes, laydowns, a trash mat, anything like that, you can flip that in there. Some people will say go light this time of year because the fish are kind of finicky. I think the opposite honestly works better. I like throwing a heavy weight, flipping it in there and getting that reaction bite. Like I said, I think you could have a great day, maybe be leading after the first day, but it's going to be hard to be consistent. I would look for 14 pounds a day to probably win the tournament. And to top 10 it, I think 12.5 or 13. The weights should be really tight. Consistency is going to be key. Hope y'all enjoy the time in Jeff County, and appreciate y'all keeping up with me.